38-year-old female with loss of bladder control, blood in her urine, and a broken leg from collapsing at her wedding.
Ampicillin for the UTI, shiny cast for the leg. You guys know Wilson's dating Amber?
No.
Wilson and Amber?
I knew. I asked her out. Said she just started seeing someone.
Cultures were negative for UTIs. No signs of previous trauma or STDs.
Kidney cancer.
CT was clean for tumors and kidney stones.
I thought Amber scared you guys.
She does, but she also has legs that go all the way up to Canada.
So do Canadians. It doesn't mean I want to date one.
Her sodium's low. Could be endometriosis in the bladder.
Low sodium could also be from low food. Hasidic Jews fast on their wedding day.
Or sodium was absorbed by a toxin already in her system. Was it just the legs, or did you detect something resembling a soul?
She grew on me. If there's a toxin in her, it could be carbolic acid. I'm talking about the patient now.
That much carbolic acid, someone would have had to poison her.
Could have been a Cossack. This was 18th century Poland, and Cossacks were into household cleansers, which is why it's more likely that the poisoner was poisonee.
Suicide's a sin.
Corollary of people lies, people sin. In my world, people includes Jews.
She was getting married.
Hasidic women marry young so they can start pushing out little Hasidlings. 38 means a woman not on anyone's hot list being pushed onto a guy who's not on anyone's hot list. No way out, no way out.
Endometriosis fits better than an epiphany that her life is meaningless. We should start her in AIs and do a cystoscopy to confirm.
Fine. Check her innards for bad cells and her home for bad karma. Carbolic acid should be on the shelf right next to the regret and the self-loathing.
These people are crazy.
Yeah, she should be self-hating.
I'm not self-hating. I hate religious people who are out of touch with reality. You only marry someone you met 3 times if they're carrying a little mistake.
What's their divorce rate?
Cleaners are all organic, nothing with carbolic acid. You like how they hook up?
Romance is just emotional foreplay. Candlelight meals, flowers. It's as much a ritual as anything these people do. Why not go with someone who's pre-vetted, shares the same values? Cut to the quick.
Values may give you the big picture, but time together gives you the little picture. Does she chew her food too loud? Will she leave you alone during the final 4?
You commit to something deeper, you let the little surprises slide.
Surprises kill, which is why you only commit when there are no more surprises.
And you have no more surprises for your wife.
You think this came up on date number 2?
You ever heard of a Hasidic Jew into hard rock? She's listed as a producer on all of these.
Where there's rock and roll, sex, usually there's drugs.
I'm Ba'al Teshuvah. I became Hasidic about 6 months ago.
And before 6 months ago? Music business isn't exactly known for its holiness.
Heroin. But I've been clean for months. Yonatan knows. The broad strokes. He never actually asks the details. Says what's important is the person that I am now, not the person I was then.
How do you go all the way from...
I just took a class. And I took another class.
And you just completely left the music business?
Pop music is considered frivolous. Same reason we don't watch TV or go to movies.
Your drug use may have caused some long-term damage. We're gonna need to take a hair sample to test for latent toxins.
So you can never watch Star Wars again. Treatment had no effect, rules out endometriosis, and her hair sample was negative for residue drugs.
This woman lived in the fast lane till 6 months ago. Maybe we're missing something.
She admitted drug use. Doubt she's holding out on her days as an asbestos miner.
Cryoglobulinemia might account for the symptoms.
Except for the one you missed.
There's no change in her condition.
I'm not talking about a new symptom. I'm talking about one that presented 6 months ago.
Look, she's nuts, but we can't just give her 10 cc's of atheism and send her home.
Religion is a symptom of irrational belief and groundless hope. Altered mental status, on the other hand, is a symptom of porphyria.
She didn't develop uncontrollable anger, crying, anxiety. She just decided to go to temple.
The woman didn't just choose to keep kosher. She went directly to the extremes of Hasidism. A life of stringent rules. She became a masochist.
She didn't like her old life, so she changed it.
People don't change. They might want to, but even need to.
Taub gave up a 6-figure plastic surgery career for this job. That mean he has porphyria?
He switched jobs to save his marriage. He did it to avoid change.
He's right. You don't suddenly choose crazy without suddenly being crazy.
No, if she walked away from everything to go base jumping or live with apes, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
We would if she was also tinkling blood out of her overexcited bladder. Pump Hadassah full of hematin and give her a phlebotomy.
bloodletting?
Porphyria is a rare genetic disorder that causes an overproduction of a certain protein. Draining the blood
A
relieves...
hair test for damage from drugs showed she has a rare genetic disease?
No, not exactly. We're testing her now to confirm.
You're treating it before you confirm it?
Blood test results take 24 hours.
You must have seen something that makes you suspect it.
Dr. House has a theory.
A theory based on what?
We'd like a different doctor.
I assure you that Dr. House is our best.
Then we will settle for second best. Someone who doesn't think my wife is sick just because she's religious.
If you prefer, I can give your wife my second best diagnosis. Do you know Wilson's dating Amber?
I have reviewed the chart. Someone on your team must have pointed out that cryoglobulinemia also fits the symptoms.
Yes, it fits many of the symptoms.
My wife's body is sick. Her mind and soul are fine.
You live according to God's 600 commandments, right?
613.
You understand them all?
Takes a lifetime of learning.
But you follow the ones you don't understand because the ones you do understand make sense, and you believe that the guy who created them knows what he's doing.
Of course.
So, you will trust my diagnosis, and you'll let me treat her, because in this temple, I am Dr. Yahweh.
I want a new doctor.
Starting her on indomethacin for the cryoglobulinemia.
People don't change. For example, I'm gonna keep repeating, people don't change.
So alcoholics that successfully go through treatment don't
They're
exist.
still alcoholics. They never take a drink as long as they live. It's only because they didn't live long enough.
If you're dissatisfied with your life, changing it is a symptom of mental health. I get why that concept is strange to you.
O2 stats are 85. She's hypoxic. We might need to intubate.
What's wrong with her?
Well, it's definitely not cryoglobulinemia.
Better ask him.
We kept her on oxygen overnight. Her respiratory rate stabilized and her OSAT's back up to 95. Saw Amber drop off Wilson this morning.
Yes, the male always drives the female. So what caused the breathing problem?
Pulmonary involvement rules out porphyria.
She kiss him or he kiss her.
I missed it. The lab tech with the tongue stud also pulled up.
Wegner's would explain her elevated SED rate.
Wagner's wouldn't explain the changed mental status.
Actually, we've been trying to ignore that part of the whiteboard.
I wrote it in black. I'm always serious when I use black. Lupus would explain...
Maybe she didn't change.
Are you agreeing with me or are you making a point?
I'm making a point.
It's gonna take longer.
How do we know that the real Roz isn't who she is now and who she was then? Can't we say that her previous life was true without making her present one a fraud?
Life is messy argument. Nice. Explains everything without explaining anything. If it's lupus, there's a heart problem we don't know about yet. Run her through a stress test. If she has a heart attack, I'm right.
Or we could wait, hope that...
You're afraid to give her a heart attack.
Of course we're afraid.
No reason to be afraid. Unless you think I'm right.
It's Wagner's. But we'll have the crash cart just in case.